What's going on, you guys? My name is Marco Phillips. You're listening to Time to Dominate podcast. Let's go. So here's a daunting question. How do millennials like us leverage the internet to recruit 8 players into our downlines, make a massive impact in the world and the income, while having plenty of time for the other things that do actually matter to us? Well, this podcast is going to be answering those questions. My name is Marco Phillips, and you're listening to Time to Dominate podcast. Hey, what's up, you guys? I hope this podcast finds you well. Today, I wanted to talk about the gift of desperation. That's right, the gift of desperation. We've probably heard this over and over again. There are only 2 things that's going to actually move us into action. 1 is desperation, or 2, inspiration. And so a quick story to kind of help illustrate this point was I was over at my company's event this last weekend, and sharing on stage was is a lady and a husband that they've just been in the business for a long time, and they've just been killing it. If they're not close to 7 figures a year, I think with like all the bonuses and stuff, I think they're over 7 figures, and very super sharp lady, super sharp. Her husband too, and you know, they were sharing and they were just giving a backtrack as to, you know, how they got started, because they've been doing this for a while. And she says, you guys, like, we were bankrupt. We were absolutely bankrupt. There was zero would have looked nice. You know, there was no money in the bank. You know, some businesses went under, and just this 6 kids. And they had to find a way. The only thing that was working for them left was this business, the MLM business I'm affiliated with. And just like, you guys, you know, after everything went down, man, all we had was this. So guess what? We focused. We put our foot to the gas, and like, listen, this is actually going to have to work or bust. Like, you know. And she was like, you guys, guess what? We worked really, really hard for 3 years. Okay? Really, really hard for 3 years. And here was the outcome. Here was the result. They recruited 10 people into the business a month and did 10,000 in volume. Okay? So 10 new distributors every single month into the business, and 10,000 in volume every single month, no matter what, for 3 years straight. Okay, and it's been paying them now for 27 years. I'm going to say that again. They did the volume for 3 years straight, and they put in the work for 3 years straight. And that 3 years of work has been paying them for over 27 years. And it keeps on increasing and increasing. And the other guy was like, man, after a while, you know, it's, you know, he's older. He's 74. He's 74 years old. Rocking and kicking. Like, you wouldn't even tell he's 74. Going on 26-mile bike rides. Like, he was like, dude, the products work, put it to the test, trust me, like, I'm a product of a product. And but the part I wanted to peel out in this podcast, in this episode, was 3 years of work and pressure that's been serving them for going on 30 years now, right? And here's the tangible thing that she says. She says, this game, and this is kind of my paraphrase, my paraphrase of it. It's like a pressure cooker. Just imagine you have a burner and you're looking to cook something, okay? The way in which we are taught to do this, just, you know, friends and family, circle of influence, and then kind of cold market, okay? It's cool, but only for a short period of time. And then it's kind of like we get to slow burn, like it gets on a slow burner after a while. What we want is kind of like the same thing that those guys did, right? Which is what? Which is the stovetop on high heat, okay? The stovetop on high heat to really, really bring on the pressure. Imagine like you're cooking meat, like you're cooking a steak or something. Okay, the only way to really get that steak cooking is that we need to put the burner on high heat. Okay, it's the high heat and the high pressure and the high concentration of pressure in a short amount of time, that is what is going to, obviously from the fire to the pan, and the heat on that pan goes through the meat to actually cook the meat itself, right? Like, and if you like your meat, like your steak well done, or whatever the case is, a medium rare, or whatever the case is, right? The fire got to get inside of there. It's a concentrated effort for a short amount of time that gets the meat to really, really cook. I've beaten that enough, okay? Like, you got to get my drift here. However, most of us are doing, rather than 10 people a month recruiting with the methods and the strategies that are being taught out there, it's more so like we have a big steak and we're on low heat. We're doing 10 people a year, if that. 10 people a year versus 10 people a month, right? The difference is vast. And what actually we get paid on is the large influx of volume that comes into play at one time. That's really, really what we get, like, that's what gets the ball rolling. That's what gets the ball moving. 10 people a month, okay? 10 new distributors a month, well equipped, and the leaders are always going to pick themselves, and those that actually choose to do this, really take it on and play full out. When you average those numbers, that's 120 people a year versus 10 people a year, right? What would happen? Let's say 50% of those people don't do much. Okay, so now you're down to 60. Okay, let's say out of those 60, let's say another half of those do mediocre work. We're down to 30. Let's say those 30, let's say another half of those decide to go all out, right? Now you're down to 15 superstars. It's the influx. It's the large influx. It's the burner on high heat. It's the stovetop on high heat that really gets the steak cooking, right? Now that's actually healthy enough to eat. And it feeds you and it feeds your family for years and years and years and years and years to come. When she says this, I'm like, man, it's the same exact thing. However, now the game has just changed a little bit, where there's more avenues to actually reach people, and that could be a good or a bad thing depending on who you ask, right? The people that actually adopted to change are the people that are not. And oh man, when I heard this, I'm like, oh, this is it. Because I remember when I first got started, it was the huge influx, right? I actually used my circle of friends, and the people that actually know, like, and trust me. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm getting to something really cool. Like, come check it out. It's totally cool if it's not for you, but I'm excited about this, right? So I had a huge influx of people that came in, right? Bang, and then moved the entire organization forward. What happened afterwards, though, right? Back then, I didn't sharpen my skills. I didn't update. I stayed on the same mentality because it's giving me a short burst of result. Before, I'm just thinking, oh, maybe I just need to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Not necessarily thinking like, hey, maybe there's a new strategy. Like, there are millennials out here. We don't necessarily want to do this whole belly to belly thing. So how does this translate now? It translates so beautifully. Translates so beautifully. Like, what is going to cause that kind of leverage? Like, that amount of work to get 10 people, 10 committed distributors, versus that kind of work is like every single day. Like, I imagine they're doing flyers, they're doing face-to-faces, they're out there like 8 hours a day. Snow, sleet, sunshine, whatever. Like, skipping beach, like no beach days, like nothing for 3 years. That's what they did. That's what they did. I don't know if I want to do. I don't want to do that. There are better ways to leverage and reach people and meet people and network, right? So I respect them for it, man. I'm like, man, way to go, right? And that concept is just so powerful. But now, like, shoosh, man, there's social media, man. There's podcasts, there's emails, there's text message, right? On picking up our phone, we can reach hundreds of thousands of people from any Facebook Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all in like a push of a button. And it's that kind of effort, just better leveraged, that gets us to move on to the next level. So, man, we just gave more confirmation that, man, this is the right track. This is the right track, because how else would you get that kind of influx of people in at one time? Just imagine, like, you guys listening right now, just imagine what would 120 people entering your organization within this year look like. 10 people a month, serious distributors, right? And you have a duplicatable system, right? That like I've been able to create, just to give them like, here's the keys to the city, right? Go unlock and have fun. Here's exactly how to do it. Here's exactly what to focus on, and giving them a success path, and giving them a way to do this. Like, hey, look, at all of this is all noise, right? All of this is signal. Focus on the signal. Leave the noise alone. Like, build your brand. Do this and do this and do this, like step by step, and then boom, right? And then here goes one, and there goes another one, and there goes another one, and there goes another one, and like you see, oh man, I was so stoked about that. So I hope you guys found major value, right? The key takeaways out of that is it's the cooked up pressure, right? It's the stove on high heat, right? 300, 400, 500 degrees versus the low 100 degrees, 75 degrees, right? That would never even it would never cook the steak, if at all, right? If you eat that, you probably get some sort of like stomach poisoning, right? So it's the same thing in our business. It's the concentrated effort, it's that burst all at once that gets things moving, okay? And now how can we leverage that? Use tools and systems like the internet, to do that, man. I was so stoked. I was fired up. Had to share. Okay, so if you guys are listening and you've not gone to check out the training, go ahead and check out the free training. It gives you the three. I kind of drip out the three videos about. For me, kind of like the first place to start to kind of rewire our mind and our brain on how to start branding ourselves, right? Start branding yourself, start stepping back and starting to take a look like, oh man, cool. How can I actually start speaking to the right people so that I can have an influx of people that understand this, right? And then I can give them a simple duplicating system for them to be able to do the same thing for themselves, right? And that's what caused the massive kaboom and the massive effect. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Don't forget, it's your time to dominate. Let's get it. Hey, thank you for listening today. If you found value, please subscribe and leave a review so we can reach others like us searching for a better way on how to use the internet to create leverage and truly dominate. How would you like to stop pitching and start attracting your downline on autopilot? If so, head over to timetodominatepodcast.com and grab the free training, and let's go.